Welcome back to Jackson Square. Today we're looking at Teak 710A that says I can solve one variable two-step inequalities. Solving a two-step inequality is just like solving a two-step equation. You're always going to one, undo addition or subtraction, and two, undo multiplication or division. So we're going to take all of our knowledge of solving a two-step equation, and we're going to apply it to solving two-step inequalities. So let's jump right in. So first we have a problem, and we're going to do the same thing we do with the equation. We're going to draw our dotted line to show that we have two sides that we still need to keep balance on. So whatever I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. Even though this isn't an equation, we still want to solve it as though it's one. Okay? So next thing I'm going to do, number one, always undo addition or subtraction. So I'm adding 4. So the opposite of addition is subtracting 4. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Draw my line all the way across. A positive 4 and a negative 4 will cancel out. I'll be left with 3W. Bring down your inequality symbol. Remember that this is an inequality symbol. It's not equation, so don't bring down an equal sign. I know you guys are used to bringing down an equal sign, but just be cautious of that. 4 from 7 will give us 3. So now that step 1 is done, so my two-step is back to a one-step. I don't see an addition sign. I don't see a subtraction sign. I don't see a fraction bar. So clearly negative 3 is being multiplied times W, okay? This is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides. Remember, the object of an equation or an inequality is to isolate and solve for the variable. So we want W to be alone. W just wants to be by himself. So we need to get rid of negative 3. The way we get rid of negative 3 is doing the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 gives me an invisible 1W. Bring down my sign. Then I have 3 divided by 3, which is 1. But if you remember, anytime we divide or multiply by a negative number, you have to reverse that symbol. Okay? So in our solution is not going to be W has to be greater than 1. It's actually going to be W has to be less than 1. You have to reverse that symbol. So remember to actually write down the word reverse. Whenever you see that you're multiplying or dividing by that negative, you're going to reverse that symbol. Okay? So reversing the symbol. So remember, two-step. Step 1, always undo addition or subtraction. Step 2, you're always going to multiply or divide. Let's look at another. First thing, dotted line. Show those two sides that we have to keep balanced, okay? Then I see 3 is being multiplied times B, and I'm subtracting 6. I know step 1, always going to undo addition or subtraction. So I'm going to undo subtracting 6 by adding 6 to both sides. Draw my line all the way across for my people who like to skip that part. It's so important. I have a positive 6 and a negative 6. These will create a 0 pair, so they're gone. Make sure you bring down your 3B. Bring down your inequality symbol, which is less than or equal to, and then we're going to combine 30 and 6. So 30 and 6 will become 36. So my two-step is now just a regular old one-step. And we see 3 is clearly being multiplied by B. How do you know it's multiplication? Do you see an addition sign here? No. Do you see a multiplication? Do you see a subtraction sign? No. Do you see a fraction bar? No. You do not see any of those operation symbols. So the only thing that's left is multiplication. Remember, there are only 4 operations in math: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. 4 operations. So we've already eliminated 3 of them. So the only left is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide that 3 away. Remember, B wants to be alone. So you're going to get B alone by doing the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is B. Bring down my inequality symbol. And 36 divided by 3 is going to give me 1, 2, 12. So B has to be less than or equal to 12, okay? The value of B has to be a number that's less than 12, or B can be equal to 12. Remember, less than or equal to means that would be a closed circle, and B would be included in that set. Things to remember. We're only reversing when you divide or multiply by a negative, and you always want to make sure your variable is on the left so you can use that little trick I showed you for graphing. Awesome? So here's our final answer. So I did solve two that were multiplication, but I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. We're going to definitely do one that is division, because it has two things, right? You're either going to divide and add, or multiply and add, or you're going to divide and subtract, or multiply and subtract. Those are the two operations you're going to see in the two-step, right? So let's go to a division problem. And I'm going to draw my dotted line. Step 1, I see A over 2 plus 4. I know that A over 2 is division. Remember I told you, like, way back in unit 1, fractions are division. A is being divided by 2. So this is a division problem. And I also see addition. Remember, step 1, we're always going to what? Undo addition or undo subtraction. So I'm going to undo addition by subtracting 4 from both sides. Draw that line straight across. Okay? Straight across. So a positive and a negative will cancel out. I'm going to bring down A over 2. Bring down my inequality symbol. 5 minus 4 is 1. Okay? So now this two-step has become, yet again, a one-step. Okay? It's a one-step. It's a one-step division problem. How do I know it's division? I see the fraction bar, which means division. Okay? Remember I told you, when you have a division problem, I want you to pull that fraction out. Separate the fraction from the variable. So what's the fraction here? The fraction is, remember there's an invisible 1 here. The fraction is 1/2 times A. There's a 1/2. They've been multiplied together, sorry. That 1/2 and A have been multiplied together. Pull that fraction out so you can see it. Okay, you need to be able to see it before you can get its reciprocal. You need to know what you're reciprocating. Okay, so we know this is a division problem. We have to do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So to get rid of the 1/2, and so A can be alone, we have to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 1/2? 2 over 1. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2 over 1. Okay? So 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. The 1's going to be invisible. So we're just going to write A. Bring down that inequality symbol. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 over 1 is just 2. So this is going to be A has to be less than 2. Okay? There's no reversing here. I didn't multiply by a negative here. So this is the way it is. Okay? The variable's already on the left. So things are good, happy days. So I've done 3 examples for you. 2 multiplication, 1 division. You're going to practice some of these by yourself. Okay? You want one more division? Okay, I hear you. Let's do one more division. First thing we're going to do, yes, we're going to create that dotted line. Okay? Create the dotted line. Step 1, undo addition or subtraction. So I see they're subtracting 6. So how do I undo that? By adding 6 to both sides. Okay? Positive and negative, they cancel out. Bring down my b divided by 5. Bring down my inequality symbol. A -2 and a +6 is going to give me a +4. Now we're to a one step. One step, okay? One step. How do you solve a one step? Remember, this is a one-step division. How do you know? You see the fraction bar, okay? You know it's division because you see a fraction bar. You're going to pull out that fraction. You're going to extract the fraction, okay? You're going to extract the fraction from here. So the fraction here is 1/5 b. Bring down your inequality symbol. Write your 4 again. You have 1/5 times b. B wants to be, scream it, y'all, alone. He just wants to be, leave me alone, like Michael Jackson. Leave me alone. He just wants to be alone. So what is right here that is on the side with B? 1/5. So we need to get rid of 1/5 by doing the opposite of division, which is clearly, my brothers and sisters, multiplication. And you're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Okay, you're going to multiply by the reciprocal. And if you don't know what a reciprocal is, it is when you physically take the numerator and the denominator and you switch them, okay? They have been switched. Everybody get your right. No, okay. They've been physically switched, okay? You are physically switching them. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 5/1. Okay? 5/1. On this side, 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 is going to be invisible. We're just going to write the b, bring down my sign. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 1 is 1. 20 divided by 1 is 20. So here's my answer. Okay? So we've done 2 multiplication, we've done 2 division, and you're going to practice some yourself. If you can solve a 2-step equation, you can solve a 2-step inequality. If you cannot solve a 2-step equation, you might be in trouble. Come to the Zoom. Come to tutorials. Test is next Tuesday. Okay? So you need to get it in before the test on next Tuesday. Come with questions. Okay? Most kids can do the first step and then they get lost on the second step. These are just one-step problems, y'all. So I hope that this helps. I hope that you can be successful. I hear y'all hear the dog barking, y'all hear the garage closing, all kind of drama going on. So good luck.